In today's video, I'm going to share my new cold brew coffee maker. So I've been looking into this lately because I found out the benefits of having cold coffee versus hot coffee and what it does to your stomach. So don't get me wrong, I love hot coffee, but I'm mainly a cold coffee kind of person. So I wanted to try this out. I let my husband know that this is something that I wanted to order, and he put the order in on Amazon. If you guys are interested, I will leave a link down below if you guys want to get one of these. All right, so for making the cold brew, on the instructions it states that you need to add 15 to 18 tablespoons of coffee. Sounds like a lot. I was really confused by it, but honestly it turned out amazing and it was so delicious. So I usually get cold brew if I go to Starbucks, but this way I can save on money and do it by myself at home. Always making cold iced coffee here, and I always share it on my channel with my Ninja coffee maker, but today we are going to use this cold brew coffee maker. All right, for my cold cream, all I did is add my half and half. I added a couple pumps of vanilla to my cold cream, so I did not warm up my milk. We are going to do a straight cold half and half, and just add your flavor that you would like to add to your cold foam. I also have tried adding creamer to my half and half and then add my flavoring that way too. That works out just fine. So with this recipe, I will leave it down below, and I will share all of the coffee stuff that I use to make this coffee. Hi everyone, thank you for coming back to my channel. I'm Stephanie if you're new here. So in today's video, I wanted to share my cold brew coffee thing that I just got recently. So I got one of these. I took the filter out already. So what I wanted to do was, I like to have caramelized coffees, and I share that often on my channel, but I also like cold brew, and I found out that cold brew coffee is better for you than having some just regular coffee and stuff. And usually if I go anywhere to get coffee, it's usually cold brew or iced coffee. So I do like warm coffee, but I also prefer cold, and I like different flavors and stuff. So this one was mixed with vanilla and half, just a little bit on top, because I like to have more coffee than I do have the foam. But I will leave a link to this down in the description, and you guys can check that out. When I looked into it, I just went on Amazon and looked up cold brew coffee machines. So our Ninja coffee machine makes all different kinds of coffee. It makes hot, it makes cold. I also have a Go Ice coffee machine that I got from a review that I needed to do a review on, and we use that one too. That one works great. And then I just have like a little K-cup one, and that one works out great too if we just want a quick cup of coffee, and I have different flavorings for that. But I wanted to try this out because I heard that it is milder on your stomach, I guess, than regular coffee. And a lot of times I get heartburn really easy, which I have fixed that, hopefully. And I've been using some stuff for that, and I will share that with you guys in another video. But for today, what I'm going to be doing is making some rice bags. So my kids use these rice bags, and I have talked about these in other videos. So we keep them in our freezer because my kids will go to bed with them cold, but if they want them warm, they will put them in the microwave. And we go to this one place, and they sell them for $5, and then they have like lavender and different scents in here, and then she uses rice in hers. And I have made a couple for the kids, so I will do that too when I have time. But sometimes just getting them is just easier for me. But 2 years ago when we went cherry picking, they let us take all the pits home with us. They had this like big bin of pits, so cherry pits. So we can use this also for the bags, and the kids can microwave them and everything, and that's safe to do. So I will probably put lavender on that. If I have that for essential oils, I will do that. But I went to Walmart today and I found this bundle for me to make them in. I wanted to do more of a Christmas theme. I do have other fabrics, but like I said, I wanted to do more Christmassy looking fabric. So I have a bunch of these. I'm gonna cut these up and I'm gonna make this for the kids for this month, for it's just more of a Christmas theme than what we have. So sometimes the kids forget to put them in the freezer and then we run out of them pretty quick. So I'm gonna see how many I can make with what I have and just make some up quick. All right, for making these heat pads, we also call them rice bags just because we put rice in them usually, or we buy them that way. But today we are going to be adding some cherry pits, and then I ran out of them, so I ended up using rice for some of them. All right, for these fat quarters, I think that's what these are called. All I did is fold them in half, and then I just measure out an approximate on how wide I want them to be. So there's no exact that needs to be to make these rice bags. All you need to do is just sew around the top part of them and then on the sides. And you're going to, well, when you sew them, you're gonna turn them inside out so that you're sewing them on the inside. And then when you fold them back, you'll have a nice seam on the outside and you won't see any stitches. The only time that you're going to have any stitch marks is going to be when you close them up on top. But if you don't want marks on them or don't want the stitch marks on them, you're going to want to do like a seamless stitch with just a needle and thread. So that is what I ended up just sewing it on top because we didn't really care what it looked like, and I also just kept with using black thread with sewing these up. So I'm gonna go and get these done and cut all of these out, and then I will come back when we start adding everything in them. A lot of times when I make extra stuff like this, I take a lot of pictures just because I like to post them on Instagram. Usually if I post them on Instagram, it goes right to my Facebook page for 10 Kids in a Garage, and then I'm able to share all of what I do on my channel on Facebook or Instagram. So if you guys are interested, you guys can go over on Instagram and follow me there. And I always am posting daily on different things that we like to do or just some fun pictures in my stories. I'm always doing some fun stuff over there, but I don't share a lot of that on my channel just because it's just short little clips of what I do throughout the day or some fun things that the kids are doing, and then also some maybe just some fun homeschool stuff or things that I am doing on a daily with my kids or with my animals. I love sharing that in my Instagram stories. So if you have Instagram, go over there, give us a follow, and you guys can see all the things that we like to do. All right, for sewing these up, all I do is just, like I said before, I just do a little opening up on top, and then I go down both sides and I turn them back the right way and I fill them. Sometimes I use a funnel, but today we were using paper plates just because it was working out better that way for filling the little rice bags here. So just a little backstory with my sewing machine. I did have a brother sewing machine before, and when COVID hit, I ended up making so many different kinds of masks for different people that needed them for work and just all different reasons. And my sewing machine broke right in the middle of getting masks done and stuff. So Lauren had to go on eBay and we had to find a sewing machine really fast. I did use my daughter's sewing machine and I also used my mom's sewing machine. A lot of them weren't keeping up with what I needed to get done. So Lauren went on eBay and found me this one, and this one also is a brother sewing machine. So far we are doing good with this one, and I'm able to sew up different things. Now I don't do a lot of big sewing projects. I mainly do quilts and just odds and end things that maybe the kids want or I need to hem up and do. But for rice bags and stuff, I usually am, making these, and they're pretty easy to do. It's just a basic straight stitch for making these, and that's pretty much it. So we're going to get done sewing all the sides and the top just to leave that opening up on top. We're just going to go around and do that really fast. And then Evelyn's going to help me today, and we're going to get these filled. All right, so now we're going to move on to filling our rice bags or our cherry pit bags. I tried using the funnel, but these were too big for them to fit through. So we ended up just using a paper plate, like I said before, and that worked out fine. So with my lavender, I've had this lavender from making soap, and I'm just going to do that instead of using essential oils, just because I didn't have time for me to soak them in the essential oil. So we're not going to do that this time, maybe another time, but I just use the loose lavender that I found on Amazon, and that worked out just fine too. So with heating up these bags, you can put these in the microwave for about a minute, and that should be good. But a lot of times my kids use the freezer or just put them in the freezer, and that is fine too. So if you do put them in the microwave, start out real small, maybe like 15 seconds. But for our microwave, it's a little older, and putting it in for a minute works out just fine for us. But your microwave might be a little bit different, so start out pretty small when it comes to heating these up. All right, so I'm going to go ahead here. Evelyn's going to help, and we're going to get these filled up, and then we are going to move on to sewing up the top part. before sewing up the top, all I'm going to do is just make sure that the top hole area that we left open is closed, and I'm just going to do a straight stitch on top and close it. All right, so I am all done making the little bean bags. We usually call them rice bags because that's usually what they're made from, but we have the cherry pit ones. So I didn't have enough for the cherry pit ones, so I did some of the rice ones, and these feel so much nicer than the cherry pit ones. So I think what I'm going to do is just get more rice, and I might even have this kind of rice. You don't want to use instant. I don't think you can use instant for these because you want to still be able to put these in the microwave, and I think it's the long grain that you can use. And so I'm probably going to make more because I have more fabric. I'll probably just make up more and then store them in my room so that the kids can have them whenever these get broken. Sometimes we end up washing these on accident with like their bedding and then their rooms. So I could probably make up a bunch more and then just have them on hand. I was going to use essential oils for that, but I remembered that I have some of this from making soap and different things in the past. I've used these for my little bunnies that I made for Easter this last year, and I put this in them little bunnies too. So this works fine with that, but I know some people will just do essential oils in their rice bags. But I've talked about these rice bags in other videos, like when I do my fridge and freezer clean out. My kids always store them in the freezer, and we always have them on hand. My daughter also uses them for her girls. And then like if my kids get hurt or whatever, they just grab these out of the freezer and they can use these on like bumps and bruises and stuff. And then when they have stomach aches, we put them in the microwave and then they go to bed with them warm too sometimes. So either cold or warm, it all depends on how they feel. And that is what we use them for. So it is cheaper for me to just make them versus going. So that whole bundle of fabric that I got was like $8.98 or almost $9. And for one rice bag at the place where I usually get them are $5, and the bigger ones are like $10. So I'm able, what did I do? I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of them. So I'll probably have to quick make up some more because they're the cherry pits. Because that's what people were using them for when we went cherry picking that time. We were asking the guy, I said, can I take them home with me? And I said, what are people using them for? And he said, these, that people are using. Well, because when you lay them flat, lay it flat. You know what I mean? So it works out. That one maybe just doesn't have as much, but feel this one. This is nicer.
Yeah, I like this.
Yeah, it's much nicer. So I have more fabric where I can do more, and I only have 7, and I probably should do more. Even though we have a couple of them in the freezer, I'm sure we're going to have people that are going to want some of these, and we'll probably argue.
Don't encourage stuff.
Don't encourage the fighting. So I'll probably make up more just so we have more, because that's not going to be enough. So that is what I'm going to do. If you guys are interested in getting that cold brew little pitcher, I will put the link down below and you guys can get one. The only thing that I did, so the kind of coffee that I use is the Great Value Caramel coffee. It's in an orange bag. And I've had that on some of my videos before and some of my large family grocery hauls, and I used a 2 tablespoon, like a coffee scoop, so I think it's 2 tablespoons. I used 15 to 18 tablespoons in the filter of that thing. So that works. Oh, good. And then the next day I just take the filter out and I make sure there's no grounds on the cover or anything, so when I put it back on there, it doesn't get into the coffee. Otherwise, you can just strain it if that works. I know other people that I've talked to that, my niece actually worked at a coffee shop, and she said that they would just put the grounds in the pitcher, so they would just strain it out and get the coffee out after. So you can do that also. But I wanted to have this one so that the coffee grounds, I didn't have to do all that. It's already filtered, and so far we like it. We've been drinking it almost every day now. Hudson's been making some stuff with it, but I really like it. So if you guys are interested, I will leave that down below. If you have any coffee lovers, you can maybe give it away as a Christmas gift, and then pack some coffee and stuff with that, and then a scoop to go with, like in a little basket or something for Christmas, like a Christmas gift. It'd be a perfect gift for someone that enjoys coffee. But that is everything that I wanted to share with you guys today, because the kids have been wanting to get these and use these, and I haven't had time to get it done, but I finally got it done. So depending on when this video goes out to when I'm going to do my live, I have some of my stuff ready to go for that. So I'm going to be doing advent calendars. So I have my little numbers, and then I have my advent calendar verses that are going to go into the envelopes. I have my envelopes. I have my little clips. I need to get ribbon. And what else? I need something else for the advent calendar. I'm going to go live November 17th, and that is what I'm going to do on the live. I don't have a time yet, but that's what I'm going to do on the live. We are going to make this advent calendar craft. I like to do advent calendars. I have other ones that I've done in the past where I put candy and stuff in it. These are going to be too small for me to put candy in it, but maybe that day when I do the birth, I'll have a couple pieces of candy nearby. And then we also do Elf on the Shelf, so we always have candy anyways. So we're going to do all of that in the month of December, but I want to get this done, and I was like trying to think of something to do for my live, and I thought that would be great. And then if you guys have any questions on all of what we do for Christmas or the month of December, we can talk about that on that video or on that live. So I'm going to go live November 17th. I just don't know the time yet. It's probably going to be maybe around 1 o'clock. And then we'll probably do a live for maybe like a half an hour, 45 minutes or something like that. But I'm going to let you guys know probably in another video, or I will put it on my community tab when I'm going to go live. Just the afternoon works better for me, so hopefully you guys can make it, but you guys will be able to re-watch the live after it's done. The only thing is when I'm live, the comments that come in don't get saved, so I'm going to try to answer all of your questions in that live. So try to think of some stuff that you guys want to ask me and come to the live, and then you can ask and I will answer most of them in that live. All right, so that is everything today that I wanted to share with you guys. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.